Next up on WTV, face-to-face protocols, this week's edition of My Life As, and today's Sports Minute. WTV's daily update starts now. Hey there, Red Hawk Nation. Today is Wednesday, September 2nd, and I'm Cooper Ragle with today's daily update, brought to you by Wingspan TV. While a little more than half the school is going to be part of the district's virtual academy for the first 9 weeks, about 900 students will be back on campus for the first day of face-to-face learning since March. But things are going to be a bit different. And with that, most of today's show is about the procedures and policies in place for the return of face-to-face learning. WTV's Stephanie Cho tells you what it's like to come into school.
Thanks, Cooper. There will only be 3 entrances to the school this new year. And if you arrive before 8 a.m., be sure to wear your mask, social distance, and stay outside.
For athletes that have morning practice and students that ride the school bus, your entrance will be here at the back of the school, right through the cafeteria.
Students must have a face mask on, but if you happen to forget yours, school staff will be there to give you one. Once you are inside, get some hand sanitizer and be on your way. For students that drive themselves, you will continue to park in the student parking lot and enter through these doors right here, located by the gyms. It will be the same situation here, as students must have a face mask on, but if you happen to forget yours, school staff will be there to give you one. Once you are inside, get some hand sanitizer and be on your way. The third and final entrance point will be at the front of the school, and this is where students that are dropped off, walk to school, or ride a bike will enter. Face masks must be on, and if not, school staff will be there to give you one, and there will also be another hand sanitizing station for the students. Now we toss it to WTV's TJ Krylowitz, who is going to tell you what to do once you are inside the building.
Thanks, Stephanie. So if you get to school before 8:30, the only place you'll be able to sit is the cafeteria, but you can't just sit anywhere. Instead, students must sit at a spot designated with a blue X on it, and students must stay there. Please do not move your chair in any direction for any reason. Once it is 8:30, students will be dismissed from the cafeteria for first period. When you are walking to and from class or anywhere on campus, pretend you're driving and stay to the right side of every hallway and set of stairs. Right is right, and just like the roads, leave distance between yourself and other students in the hallway. At the end of each class period, students will be dismissed by grade level, so listen for an announcement telling you when to leave and head to your next class. Now here's WTV's Advik Dixit to tell you about the cafeteria, the bathrooms, and the cleaning procedures.
Thanks, TJ. This year, there will only be 5 lunch periods, and students are expected to sit within the cafeteria. As we mentioned earlier, there will be blue X's labeled all over the cafeteria, and students are expected to sit there and not move their chair in any direction. There will also be limited lines in the cafeteria and no microwaves. Students will be dismissed from lunch by tables, so please listen to directions on when it's time to go back to class. So if you're like me, at some point in the day, you may have to use the bathroom. Well, that's going to be different this year. During class, students will be expected to use the e-hall pass system to use the bathroom, with there being a limit on the number of students that can use the bathroom at one time. And there will only be 2 bathrooms open, this one right here by the cafeteria and this one over by the gyms. And don't forget to wash your hands, with 20 seconds being the minimum. Staying with the cleaning theme, all lunch tables, students' desks, chairs, and any other shared item will be wiped down using a disinfecting spray after every use. Now let's take a look at the end of day procedures with WTV's Alyssa Murphy.
Thanks, Advik. Heading home for the day won't be the same as in previous years, as students won't be able to bolt out of their classroom when the school bell rings. Instead, just like during classes, students will be dismissed at staggered times according to how they get home, with student drivers going at one time, students that walk, ride a bike, or get picked up getting dismissed at a different time, and bus riders being dismissed when their bus is here. And just like before school, students are asked to leave using one of the 3 exit and entry points. That's a lot of information, and while you may not remember it all, try to remember this. Wear a mask at all times except when eating. Keep your hands clean. Bathroom use will be limited. Stay right when walking on campus, and listen to the announcements for when it's time to leave class or go home. Back to you, Cooper.
On this week's edition of My Life As, WTV takes a look into the life of cross-country runner Jada Williams.
For cross country, I usually have to wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning. I usually just get ready from there, like putting on my shoes, getting dressed. And then I leave my house around 6:15 to go to practice. Our practices start at 6:30, and we start with a warm-up. Usually it's either a 10-minute warm-up or 2 laps running around the school. Just depends on what Coach Manning and Coach Fair's wanting to do. From our warm-up, we go into the field house and we do like dynamic stretching, so high knees, butt kicks, stuff like that. And we did a 60-minute run on this day, so it was pretty easy. For me, the coaches usually want me to get around 6 to 7 miles. Sometimes I'll get a little over 7, but it's just how my legs are feeling that day. And then after our workout, we do some stretching. So our muscles are all warm, so we just stretch, and yeah.
WTV's TJ Krylowitz brings you today's Sports Minute.
After a month's delay, the Red Hawk football season is right around the corner. As players have been getting ready for the season, they have set a high expectation for themselves and the team this year.
I think we're a playoff team. That's what we're shooting for. We're shooting to make a good playoff run, and if that's a goal we can accomplish, it'll be something that Liberty hadn't done in a long time, and that'll be pretty amazing.
The goals I have for us is to go to playoffs and to go to state, and and change this whole program around.
Definitely get some bigger offers and play harder for sure. Get over 100 tackles, some sacks, and then for this year, this team, is make it to playoffs and go from there.
The start of this year has presented many challenges to the players. With COVID still running rampant in the United States, Red Hawk players have tried to maintain normality for football practices.
The biggest challenge so far for myself and my teammates, or the team in general, has been social distancing. So far we've done a pretty good job of it. We've kept our distance from each other. We've been very safe over the summer and these first few weeks of in-school football, I guess. And, in the brotherhood that you have as a football team, it's tough kind of not to celebrate with each other, give each other high fives.
Red Hawk football returns on September 25th against Reedy at 7 at the Star. Reporting for WTV, this is TJ Krylowitz.
If you're looking for more from Wingspan, you can follow us at Liberty Wingspan on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, or visit our award-winning website, libertywingspan.com. And now for today's announcements. For any announcements, have your club sponsor email libertywingspanstaff@gmail.com. That's it for today's daily update. This is Cooper Ragle for Wingspan TV.